Hi, welcome to Creative Alchemy. I'm Kari. Today we're gonna make a basic block for the bodice, also known as a sloper, like this. And we're gonna do it the easy way. No difficulty for us. If you wanna draft patterns based on the 3 principles of dart manipulation, added fullness, and contouring, you usually start with a basic block. There's pretty much 5 basic blocks for women. The basic bodice, which is what we're doing today, it starts at the neck and goes to the smallest part of your waist. And then the skirt block and the pant block, which start also at the smallest part of your waist. The sleeve and the long bodice, it starts with this, and then you sort of attach the skirt part to the bottom. And so it goes from your neck to the widest part of your hip. This book, Pattern Making for Fashion Design by Helen Joseph Armstrong, is kind of like the industry standard for pattern making. It's the standard fashion school textbook, and it's what I learned pattern making from. I have the 3rd edition, and it's up to the 5th edition now. If you really want to get into pattern making, I highly recommend this book. It teaches you how to make basic blocks from scratch using geometry and other kinds of math. And everyone in fashion school learns how to make the basic slopers or blocks. I'm going to use those 2 words interchangeably. Sloper, block. Basic block, sloper. So everyone learns how to make a basic block using math in fashion school, and then in the real world, you never do it again. The method I'm going to teach you is to take a block that already exists in the world that's a standard size and make it your size. So where do you find a sloper? You can do a little internet search and find one online and print it out, or you can get a book and there'll be one in the back and you can just print it out. Even this book has a basic block that you can copy and enlarge on a copy machine. Or what I have is commercially available pattern blocks. This one's Vogue 1000. I have 3 different sizes. And that's how I got my basic blocks. I've taken most of these and copied them onto tag board, so I have them to use in a professional capacity. So I'm making this video because I need to make new slopers. I need new personal slopers. It might be difficult for me to encounter my measurements, but I live in gratitude and in consciousness of the present moment, so it's all good. It's all good. You need to start with 2 measurements, your bust and your waist. You want to put on a bra that you usually wear, and in my case, I don't really ever wear a bra, and I've been debating with myself whether I should just bite the bullet and put on a bra for the sake of this video, but I don't wear a bra. I just wear a tank top. So that's what I'm gonna base my block off of. I know that it would look better if my boobs were up here instead of down here, but I live for myself and not for the aesthetics of other people. And so I'm not gonna wear a bra. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not doing it. They feel like straight jackets. So I got my tank top. So you take a measuring tape and find the biggest part of your chest. Oh my God. God, my boobs are huge. I have a 42-inch chest. Is that possible? Oh my God. Whoa. For the waist, I like to tie a string around your waist so that you can find the smallest part. So that's like the smallest part, and and I'm gonna measure that. It's 36 inches. Okay, we've got our basic block here. We've got our glass of wine. Take some right now. And we're gonna measure this. I'm gonna measure across the bust. Boom, boom, okay. And then there's the dart, so across this line. And then it comes, okay, 22. So the bust measures 44, and you want like 1 inch of ease. So this is good, maybe too big. So we're measuring the waist. There's a dart there. Measure, and then the back. So this measures 17 1/4. Doubled is 35 1/2, which is too small. So I'll have to either reduce the dart here or make it wider here. This isn't properly trimmed. I'm going to trim that. What I'm going to do is reduce both of these darts by 1/4 inch on each side. So that'll be like a 1/2 inch total here, a 1/2 inch total here, and then doubled, that makes 1 inch, and then doubled, that's 2 inches. So the waist will measure 36 1/2 inches, which is good. It's a little, there's a little bit of ease in there. Okay, 1/4 inch. See, so it's 0 here, 1/4 inch here. And then, there's that, damn it, I ripped it. These patterns are really old. So now I'm gonna iron the pattern pieces and iron the fabric that I'm gonna use. We're on fabric. I am using muslin, which is good. That's kind of like the standard fabric you use. You can use any kind of fabric that is medium weight, woven, not stretchy. If you have a plaid fabric laying around you can use, that could be fun. Like a plaid fabric that you don't need for anything else for this mock-up. It can be really nice to see how the lines move around your body, and it can be helpful. And a plain fabric is fine too, which is what I'm using. Here I'm using carbon copy paper and a Hera marker from Clover. You can use tracing paper that's designed for sewing, and a butter knife or your fingernail or any kind of pointy but not too sharp object.
Here I'm using a colored art pencil to mark the seam allowance on the neckline, waist, and arm size.
Okay. I remember this is a fitted thing, like the dart, if it was fitted, the darts would be contoured. This is like a straight line thing. Like these are straight lines, these are straight lines, the darts are straight lines. So I think I just have to take it in a little bit on the bust, which is weird because I thought that the bust was like just barely big enough. So I'm gonna pin it a little bit and see how that looks. Actually, I'm gonna retake in the front darts, which I let out because I thought the waist wasn't gonna be big enough. I put a zipper in the center front because I just wanted it to lay really flat. You can just pin it instead of putting in a zipper. You want to check the neckline to make sure that it's right at the base of your neck. Like you can feel kind of where the bottom of your neck is. And then the shoulder seams, you want to find this bone that sticks out right here. And that is where the edge of the shoulder seams should be. So I'm going to mark that. And keep in mind that I've left a 1/2 inch seam allowance around here. So like this is the finish line, but this is the cut line. So it's about 3/4 of an inch too far out here. Sometimes it looks like there's a fold. There wants to be a dart here, but there's not a dart there. It's good. How does the back look? I can't see it. I'll get a mirror. There's a big mirror behind you that I can see myself in. Oh, that's pretty good. It's hard to tell when I'm holding something in my arm because clothes move when they're on you and you move with your clothes. So I got my little string here. I want to check that as well. Because it felt like the waist was in the right place. I have 1 inch of allowance here. I think it's pretty good. On a lot of people have like a sway back or a short back. Like if you're kind of like this, you'll want the back to be shorter. Okay, so now I'm gonna adjust the pattern, and what I'm gonna do is show you how to make the pattern like the final block, which has no seam allowances. It'll be on oak tag paper, so it'll last a really long time, and it's easy to trace around for making other patterns.
Somehow I managed to not film myself tracing my original pattern onto oak tag, making adjustments and removing the seam allowances, and I only took this picture. Sorry.
If I mention that slopers do not contain seam allowance, so that's that. They don't contain seam allowance. Now I'm going to mark all of these lines in Sharpie and then cut it out, and then it'll be done. It'll be awesome. So now I'm gonna true up the pattern. Like I put these two together and make sure that this is a nice curve. So this goes to there, and then that matches, but this is not a nice curve. This is a point. So I want to even this out a little bit. This isn't surprising because I took in the shoulder seam and the sides so much. Something like that. And then this can come down a little bit more like that. So these two lines don't match up. I don't really understand why. I'll just move it down to here. So this comes, that's where the bust notch goes. And then this is just a hair too big right there. I also want to measure the darts to make sure that they're the same on both legs. This one is like 1/8 bigger, but that's good. It's good to have this side eased into that side just a little bit. But this one should be even. Yes, it is. And this one should be, yes. Okay, so Sharpie in my trusty French curve. Just gonna iron these really quick. So now I notch all the important parts. This notch is where the bust dart meets up with the bust line. Screw punch to put holes.
The tool I'm using is called a screw punch or a push drill. It's used to punch holes in the middle of a piece of paper. You have to put a piece of cardboard underneath the thing you're punching a hole in, or it will mar the surface that you're using. I always use the back of a notebook. And this is a pattern rabbit. It punches big holes.
Okay, we're all done. Beautiful. Now come back for more because this was just the beginning. I'm gonna make a skirt sloper, a pant sloper, a dress sloper, and a sleeve sloper. So I'll see you in the next one.